Welcome to Yoga and Journal, Class 4. Today's class is going to be focused on the shoulders and the neck. So we'll get started in child's pose. Sitting the bum back to the heels, walking those hands forward, lengthening out of that low back, and bowing the third eye down to the earth. And without changing anything, just observing how the breath is naturally as we start our practice. And connecting with our physical body and just acknowledging anything we're bringing into our practice today. And then checking in with our emotional body, taking note of any emotional energy we're carrying. And then maybe closing down the eyes and just finding your center. Starting to deepen the breath naturally. Come into the present moment. Now when you're ready, I'm going to lift the head, walk the left hand just outside the mat, and then stack the right hand on top. That left hand, bowing the third eye back down to the earth, and sending the breath into the right shoulder area. And seeing where the physical sensation starts, travels, and stops. Feeling free to move a little more to the left to find your edge, the place where you're feeling that steady, sweet stretch. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And slowly you can walk through center and over to the other side. Right arm comes to the outside of the mat. Left arm stacks on top. Bow the third eye down to the earth and send the breath to the left side of the shoulder. As you breathe, feeling that expansion and stretch. And just noticing if one side feels different than the other. Three more breaths here. Inhale fully. Exhale all your air. And inhale to slowly walk back to center. Shifting into table, just back into downward dog for just a moment. Walking your dog, pressing the earth away with your hands. And then we'll take the feet about shoulder width apart. We'll shift the weight into our left hand and take the right hand to the left leg just for a gentle twist.
Starting to activate through the shoulders, letting the head be loose and relaxed. 2 more breaths. Stepping the hand back, finding downward dog for just a breath. And then the other side, weight goes into the right hand, left hand comes to the outside of the right leg. Twisting through the shoulders, starting to warm up into the shoulder joint. 2 more breaths. And then slowly bringing the hand back, hop or step to a seated position. And we're going to grab our strap. We're just going to keep that close by, and we're going to just connect deeper with our shoulders. So let's roll them onto the back very slowly, very mindfully, maybe shutting down the eyes so we can look inward on those shoulders and moving them forward as well. And then dropping the chin to the chest, we'll roll ear towards shoulder to just start connecting with our neck and see any areas of tension that we might be experiencing. Moving very mindfully and slowly. And then we'll pause on one side, taking 3 breaths. Roll those shoulders back and breathe into the side of the neck. Noticing where the stretch sensation is happening for you. 1 more breath. And then let the head return to center, over to the other side. Keep those shoulders rolled on the back and send the breath into the side of the neck. Three more breaths. Just noticing any physical sensations coming through. And slowly dropping the chin back through center. Roll those shoulders back, and we're going to find a juicy flow for those shoulders with our strap. Now, you don't have to use a strap here, but it is a great option. We'll bring the arms nice and wide to start, and we can make adjustments as we go. But we'll inhale to flow up and let those arms come all the way back to the earth. Inhaling up through center and exhaling all the way down. Now, to decrease the stretch, your arms come wider on the strap. And if you'd like to intensify the stretch, your arms come closer together. Flowing with your breath, inhale up through center, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Now, we need to make sure the hands and shoulders are balanced. We're not doing one and then the other. They're moving together. We're not straining or striving here. What we're doing is actually recentering the humerus in the shoulder joint. And this will alleviate any pinching that you might experience in other poses. And it also works to lubricate the joint with synovial fluid, which just makes for smoother range of motion. Let's do this about 3 more times, and you might feel your shoulders getting a little tired. That's okay. This is a great go-to stretch daily for posture. And 1 more time. take a moment, roll out those shoulders. And then we're going to find one more flow with our strap. It will require a bit more coordination, but we'll start with the right hand leading. So keep the left hand where it is out in front. Inhale the right arm up, exhale the right arm down, and then inhale, left arm up, left arm down. So we're doing a full circle here. And you might notice different sensation through the chest area as we do this one. Again, same intention here to recenter the arm in the socket and to create some more lubrication for our practice today. All right, let's change directions. This time, left arm up and back. Inhale, right arm up and forward. Flowing in a circle at your own pace, being very mindful of that shoulder joint and any sensation that you're experiencing. Keeping tension on the strap. One more time. And then we can release. We'll use our strap at another point toward the end of practice today. We'll just find downward dog one more time. Taking a few breaths here, press into those hands and just notice how those shoulders are feeling. When you're ready, we can inhale together. Exhale all your air, gaze forward, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale to lift halfway. We're going to actually reach the arms overhead and do a little row here. Squeeze those shoulder blades together on the back. Reach the arms up. Squeeze those shoulders on the back. 2 more times. Shoulder blades and elbows move toward the back of the body. 1 more time. Reaching up. Release the hands, and we're going to sweep wide and high to standing. Hands come to heart. And we're going to take a moment to set an intention for practice today. Closing the eyes, bowing inward, and listening for our heartfelt intention for practice. And when you've heard your intention, taking 3 breaths to solidify. Let's inhale together through the nose. Exhale all the air. Inhale, arms sweep wide and high for our sun salutations. Hands touch, and then swan dive forward, keeping that squeeze of the shoulders on the back, leading with the heart. Release. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine, shoulders on the back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back, plank. Option to lower the knees as you lower halfway or all the way, chaturanga. Inhale into upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. 5 breaths here. Pressing through those hands into the knuckles to take off the pressure on the wrists. Elbow creases face each other, and we feel wide across the shoulder girdle here. Then connecting with the breath, in and out through the nose. Energetically letting those heels sink toward the earth. Inhale. Exhale all your air. Gaze forward. Walk or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulders on the back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep wide and high. Exhale, hands to heart. 3 breaths. Keeping those shoulders down, away from the ears as you breathe. Expanding into the ribs. Inhale. Exhale all your air. Inhale, arms sweep wide and high. Palms touch, and then exhale to hinge forward. Releasing at the bottom. You can let the shoulders come down here. Inhale, halfway lift. They squeeze onto the back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step or hop back. Option to lower the knees as you lower halfway or all the way, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog, taking 5 breaths here. One more breath. Exhale all your air. Gazing forward, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep wide and high. Touching overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Take 3 breaths here. Remind yourself of your intention for practice. Keeping a connection to your shoulders and your neck as you flow through your sun salutations. Inhale. Exhale all your air. Inhale, arms sweep wide and high. Hands touch overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step or hop back plank. Lower through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Take 5 breaths here. Pressing the earth away, feeling wide across the shoulders. Reaching those hips up and back, keeping the knees soft. And allowing the heels to sink naturally to the earth, no forcing. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale all your air. Gazing forward, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep wide and high. Exhale, hands to heart. 3 breaths here. Just noticing the heat begin to grow in the body. And taking this opportunity to even out the inhales and exhales. One more breath, inhale. Exhale all your air. Inhale, arms sweep wide and high. Exhale, hinge from the waist. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step or hop back. Slowly lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, downward dog. Holding here for 5 breaths. Just checking in if you're feeling balanced through those shoulders. Take a moment to just kind of shift your weight from one shoulder to the other, just as a means to play and explore that space. And then finding stillness again, 2 more breaths. Inhaling. Exhale all your air. Gazing forward, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, pressing into the feet, arms reach wide. Exhale, hands to heart. Take 3 breaths here. Preparing for just a sun salute B. We'll inhale, sweep the arms toward the mat, shift the hips back, weight in the heels, arms stretch up, bicep in line with the ears. Exhale, hands to heart, and we'll find a bind. Take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Press into the knee, knee presses into the elbow. Let the hands come to heart center, stacking elbow over elbow. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, opposite side, keeping the weight in the heels. Bring the right elbow around the left knee. Elbow towards the knee, knee towards the elbow. Press so that the hands come to heart center. 2 more breaths. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step or hop back plank. Lower the knees or keep them lifted and flow through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. 2 breaths here. Inhale, gazing forward. We'll step the right foot between the hands and lower the left knee down. Taking 2 breaths here. And then the option is to use your blocks as we lift the body so that the shoulders stack over the hips, or we can raise the arms up towards the sky, keeping those shoulders on the back. And we'll hold here for 3 breaths. Exhale, the hands coming back down. We'll take the left hand to the instep. Inhale, the right arm up and reaching back towards the back of the mat. Option to bind the hand to the foot, and we'll hold for 3 more breaths here. Sinking through the hips, keeping the shoulders on the back, and using this bind to open through the chest. After 3 breaths, inhale that arm back up, release the foot, coming down to either side, stepping back into downward dog for just a moment, and then bringing the feet together. Keeping squared throughout the shoulders, we'll inhale that right leg high for 3-legged dog. Keeping those hips squared, using the glute to lift the leg. 2 more breaths. And then we can begin to open through that right hip, stacking right hip over left hip. Focus on keeping the shoulders squared, and then bending the knee. Let that right foot just hang out and open up through the hip. 3 more breaths here. Keep the left heel sinking into the earth. Inhale to come back through your 3-legged dog. Lower the leg down and take 2 breaths in your downward dog. Inhale. Exhale, gazing forward. Step the left foot between the hands. Lower the back knee down for a low lunge. Keep those shoulders on the back. Neck is neutral here. And then again, you have the option to take your blocks just beside the hips as you hold, or we can raise the arms up into a slight back bend, keeping those shoulders away from the ears, lifting the chin up towards the sky. 3 breaths. After those 3 breaths, letting those hands come down, take the right hand to the instep. Inhale the left arm towards the back of the mat, squeezing shoulders on the back. Option to bind the hand to the foot, holding for 3 more breaths. Slowly releasing your bind, letting the arm come back to either side, and then stepping back into downward dog, holding for 2 breaths. And then making sure the shoulders remain squared and even. Step the feet together. Inhale the left heel high for 3-legged dog, using the left glute to lift the leg, keeping the right heel reaching for the earth. And then you can stay here or begin to open that left hip. Shoulders remain squared, and bending that left foot behind, just letting the foot hang as to lift that knee and open through the hip. 3 breaths. Staying mindful and connected to those shoulders. Inhale back through center. Exhale to lower the leg back down, dropping the knees and taking a moment to rest in child's pose. 3 breaths. After your 3 breaths, you can slowly make your way back to downward dog for just a moment. And then walk or hop the feet to meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, sink the bum for chair. Exhale, hands to heart, press into the feet. Taking 3 breaths here. Now, when you're ready, we'll step back with the right foot, turning both toes to the long edge of your mat and setting up for an expanded forward fold. Making sure that the pinky toe edge is parallel with the short edges of the mat. We'll bring our hands to our waist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Stretching out into that low back. And take your peace fingers around your big toes. Open the elbows wide. Keep the shoulders lifted away from the earth. And we'll hold here for 5 breaths. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale. Pressing evenly into all 4 corners of the feet. Two more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, hands release and come to the hips and slowly unroll back to standing. This time, interlocking the hands behind the low back, pull the hands toward the earth. Feel those shoulders roll onto the back. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, hinging from the hips. Again, slowly as you lower, you can begin to let those hands drift away from the low back if that feels okay, and toward the earth. Holding for 5 breaths, really pressing into all 4 corners of the feet, letting gravity energetically pull the arms toward the earth. The head is decompressing. 2 more breaths here, keeping the knees soft. And then slowly releasing the arms, we'll lift halfway up, and then we'll take the left hand directly below the face. Inhale the right arm up, keeping the hips squared, squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back. Option is to keep that arm straight up or internally rotate, bring the back of the hand to the spine, and keep that shoulder opening by using the back of the hand pressing into that low back. 3 breaths. Making sure, again, those hips are even. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, arm reaches up. Exhale to slowly derotate. Take the right hand beneath the face. Inhale the left arm up. Staying here if that feels good. Option to internally rotate the arm, pressing the back of the hand into the spine if that feels better on the shoulder. Holding here for 3 breaths. Inhale to lengthen, square the hips. Exhale to twist. Inhale. Exhale. Keeping the shoulders together on the back. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, derotate. Inhale, hands come to the hips, and slowly roll up to standing. Stepping our feet to the top of the mat, and we'll set up for our balance postures. We'll be doing 2 here with a little transition between them. And we'll start off with eagle, legs, and arms. So we'll shift the weight into the left foot, and we'll cross the right foot around. Option to just plant the ball of the foot on the outside of the left foot, or we can begin to bind that right ankle around the left ankle. Finding that stable lower body position, and then we'll take the arms straight out in front, and we'll take the left arm over the right. Backs of the hands can come together, or palms for eagle, legs, and arms. Bending into the knee, keeping the weight distributed evenly on the feet. Holding here for 3 breaths. Finding that gaze point for balance. One more breath. And then inhale, releasing the binds. And we're going to kick that right leg back, slowly shifting our body forward for a variation of Warrior 3. Palms face the earth, shoulders squeezed together on the back. Right leg is active with the toes toward the earth, hips are square. Now you can stay here, or if you'd like, bring in a little back bend, opening through the heart, squeezing shoulder blades together. 2 breaths here. Inhale to come back through center, and then step it out. Roll those shoulders back. Take a big sigh, and we'll find that on the opposite side. Lift and spread the right toes, taking the left leg across, feeling free to just plant the left foot on the outside of the right, or bending through the knees and finding that bind of the left ankle around the right. Arms coming straight out, right arm on top of left. either the backs of the hands together or the palms for eagle arms and legs. Elbows pull away from the body to stretch those shoulder blades apart here. 3 breaths. After that 3rd breath, you can begin to release the arms and legs, and then kicking the left leg back, shifting the body forward into a warrior 3 variation. Shoulders and hips are squared to the earth, gazing at a steady point for balance, and the option to lift the heart, squeezing the glute for this kind of flying feeling sensation. 3 breaths. Inhale to slowly make your way out, hands to heart, and we'll find flow to make our way down to the mat. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale to lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. Feeling free to skip this and just going into child's pose. Lifting into your upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward dog. Taking a breath here. And then stepping or hopping to a comfortable seat. Either one shin in front of the other or crisscross applesauce. And then we'll grab our strap. So I'm going to turn around so you can see the back side as I do this. We'll have the strap in our right hand and we'll drop it behind our back, bringing that right hand toward the left shoulder. Then we'll internally rotate that left hand and bind to the strap. Now this will feel like a very intense stretch through the arms, and we'll settle in here for about 5 breaths. Closing the eyes and just connecting with the shoulders here. Noticing any sensation. Noticing any emotions that come through. Three more breaths. Keeping the breath slow and keeping the mind connected to the shoulders. When you're ready, you can slowly release the bind and take a moment to just roll those shoulders out, forwards and backwards, and then we'll set on the opposite side. So we'll take the strap into the left hand and we'll let the strap fall onto our back with the left elbow bending so that the hand is close to that right shoulder. Internally rotate that right arm and grip the bottom of the strap. Holding here for 5 breaths. You can walk those hands closer together to make the stretch more intense or further apart to come out of that stretch. And then tuning into the breath. Keeping the inhales and exhales long. And then noticing any sensations through the shoulders. Three more breaths. Feeling free to close down the eyes to be able to look inward. And after your 5th breath, you can let those hands slowly come away from each other and release the strap to the side. Rolling out those shoulders, and then we'll set up to move down to the mat. All right, now planting our feet, we're gonna make our way down to the mat, slowly unrolling palms to the sky, pulling belly button to spine and feeling one vertebra at a time, touching the mat. Now taking a moment here to just ground through the feet, close enough that the fingertips can touch the heels. We'll tuck those shoulders onto the back, and we'll take a moment to reset in bridge. Elbows press into the mat in this 90-degree shape, pressing into the feet, lifting the hips, tucking those shoulder blades together on the back, and holding here for 5 breaths. Squeezing the glutes, pressing into the feet, and keeping those shoulders grounded on the earth. After your 5th breath, slowly unrolling down to the mat, one vertebra at a time, and just taking a moment. You can either find that variation again, or we'll find a bind with our hands this time. Press into the feet, lifting the hips, squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back, and find a bind through those hands as you hold for another 5 breaths. Option to lift the heels if that feels good and expansive for your body. Little squeeze of the knees toward each other. Now slowly release the hands and unroll back down to the mat. Now we're going to find a really juicy shoulder opener now. So we're going to drop our knees down to the left side and find a 90-degree shape with our legs. We're going to rest our right hand underneath of our head as a pillow, and then we're going to find this clock motion with our arm, reaching the right arm overhead with the palm down, and then exhale, arm comes behind with the palm up, gaze follows the hand here. And we're imagining that chest fanning out. Inhale as the arm comes up overhead. Exhale, let the shoulder open back as you come around the back side. Hips remain stacked here. Let's find 2 more flows like that. Inhale up. Exhale down. Taking your time through any part that feels sticky or a lot of sensation is coming through. Last time, inhale up. Exhale. Arm comes back. Again, feeling free to pause at any point. And then we'll flow over to the opposite side. Right side, the legs come down, stacking knee on knee, hip on hip. Right arm comes underneath as a pillow. And then the left arm will float overhead with the palm down. And as it comes behind us, the palm flips up and we exhale, letting that shoulder open in a full circular motion. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, palm to the sky, shoulder opens, hips remain stacked. And you might notice that one side feels completely different. 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale, heart opens, shoulder opens. Feeling that chest fan out. One last time. Inhale up. Exhale, back. And then we'll make our way to our back. We're going to find happy baby to start. So grabbing onto the pinky toe edge of the feet, grounding the shoulders onto the earth, and pulling the knees toward the elbows. We're just going to take 3 breaths here. And then we're going to take our hands to the opposite feet for a little shoulder opener. So still keeping those feet flexed as if they are standing on the sky. Knees are still drawing towards the armpits, but there's this outward pressure for our feet to begin to stretch into the back side of those shoulders. So 3 breaths here. And then coming back into your regular happy baby for a moment, just rocking side to side. And then we'll find that same crossover, just opposite arm in front this time. Grabbing onto the pinky toe edge, feet flexed like they're standing on the sky, and legs are helping to leverage this stretch so that the shoulders are crossing in front, opening up the back side of those shoulder blades. 3 breaths here. Slowly can release and hug both knees into your chest, giving yourself a nice embrace and rocking side to side. And then we'll set up for our waterfall pose, extending the legs up, and this time extending the arms up and letting all the blood drain out of our extremities to return back to the heart. Being here for about 5 to 10 breaths. Visualizing that waterfall action with all the blood and lymph in your body. When you're ready, slowly bringing the feet down, bring the arms into cactus, plant the heels down, legs at a 90-degree angle, and we're going to slowly lower the knees to one side, neck rotates to the opposite side. Inhale to center, over to the other side, just connecting with the neck. And when you're ready, just pausing on one side, keeping the body heavy, feeling grounded through the shoulders. Two more breaths. And slowly through center, over to the other side for a hold for about 4 breaths here. And then as you return to center, preparing for your Shavasana, extending the legs to the corners of the mat, let the toes fall open, palms to the sky, shoulder blades together on the back, slightly tucking the chin to signal the body for rest. And then letting go of controlling the breath, letting it be natural, letting go of your practice today, relaxing the face, relaxing the jaw, and letting the tongue fall from the top of the mouth. And letting yourself drift to that quiet white space. Now feeling free to stay here as long as you would like. Otherwise, you can begin to bring your awareness back to this time and place. Slowly deepening the breath. And inviting small movements back to the body, wiggling the fingers and toes. Letting the movement grow into the wrists and ankles. And then when you're ready, taking a big stretch with the arms up. From fingertip to toe tip, filling up with air. And then a big sigh, hugging one, and then both knees into your chest, giving yourself a nice embrace and a little rock side to side, massaging your low back. When you're ready, you can softly fall to one side using your arm as a pillow and hold out for a moment until you're ready to press yourself up to a comfortable seat. And bringing your hands to heart center, bowing inward, showing gratitude to yourself for practicing today, reminding yourself of your intention for practice today. Bowing to the light and love that you are. Namaste, yogi. Thank you so much for practicing with me and connecting with yourself.